Hello and welcome to Stories and Sound. My name's Francis, and in this episode, we feature Crooked Royals, a progressive metalcore band from Auckland. They've recently released their debut album, called Life Daydream, and in this episode, they perform 4 songs live for us from that release. We also have a conversation with Lee, Jake, and Connor about all things Crooked Royals. If you enjoy this episode, then please consider liking, sharing, or commenting, and find us at SIS Studios on all socials. Now please sit back and enjoy this episode of Stories and Sound with Crooked Royals.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, here we go. I just want to start out by saying just like congratulations just for all of us for getting a fucking album out.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because I've worked with a bunch of artists in different capacities and different things along the way, as far as like singles, EPs, videos, all that sort of stuff. But actually being part of and seeing the amount of work and time and effort that goes into every single stage of writing an album just makes you for me it made me appreciate albums even more. I was already an album listener, but then knowing the like millions of decisions that are made every step of the way, hearing the song 100 times in each of its different formats.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 100.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands probably, really, yeah.
And as you go from like writing to demoing to actually tracking to getting the mix revisions to the masters and then just everything through that way.
Pretty wild. I was a singles boy before we did this album.
Yeah.
Now I actually listen to full albums because I know how much of a pain in the arse it is to make an album.
it gives you that appreciation for what
Fuck yeah, it does.
artists put themselves through.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And especially trying to keep full-time jobs at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which may or may not get sacrificed a little bit during the way.
Yeah. But it's fine. Our bosses won't see this. So.
Yeah, yeah. And then if they do, sorry.
Yeah, not bad. Don't worry about it. The
Yeah,
work gets
yeah.
done. You'll be all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always remember seeing like bands post like, "Oh, this album was such hard work, took such a toll on me," and you're just like, "Pff,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
write a few songs, go to the studio."
Yeah.
He wrote
yeah.
10 songs,
And
stuff
then-
having a cry.
Yeah.
2 years later, it's just like, holy fuck.
Yeah. And because there was the EP first that we ended up scrapping, which was obviously a good call.
Like the day before at the studio, right?
Yeah,
Day
it was
before we
the
hit
week
the
off.
studio. Yeah. And the songs, all the songs are still on the album, but just a new format, new version.
So Paper Warrior was the one that stayed the most.
Yeah.
Illumination, I tried to rewrite it.
Waypoint.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It used to be called
Waypoint,
Illumination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a process.
Yeah.
I tried to rewrite it, keeping parts, but ended up changing every single part. The only thing that stayed was the key and the BPM.
Yeah. But that was still your launching point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what the song is now wouldn't have been what the song is now had you not tried to
Yeah.
fuck with it all that.
Get all the shit ideas out.
Yeah.
And 2 full songs that we cut, right? 2 full songs that are just scrapped from
No,
that EP.
Gent. There was Gent, which
Oh.
is now Counter.
Yep.
And there was Samurai.
Samurai, which we actually tracked and then scrapped.
And
Yeah,
then,
that was tracked same time as
Well, the whole EP
Copacetic.
was-
And then there's another song, which was, it wasn't from that EP, but we did scrap the other song from the album. What was
As you were.
As You Were?
As you were.
There we go. At
Yeah.
least someone
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. we
So
scrapped
even
it.
though there's only 8 songs on the album, there were more.
There was 11 total.
There,
So there was,
yeah.
there was 3 fully written demo track songs that we
Yeah.
scrapped.
Yeah.
And it was just a quality over quantity decision
Yeah.
on that. Which, from everything that I've read as far as reviews and stuff so far, the overwhelming response is positive. Like, I don't think there's been any comments in regards to, oh, this song kind of dips or anything like that. People are just kind of like, I kind of want more.
Yeah.
Like, which isn't a bad place to be.
I've liked that complaint so far. That's the biggest one I've seen. I really love the album. My only complaint is there should have been more. And it's
Yeah.
like there was more, and realistically, we're glad it was the
Yep.
best decision to cut it off because it would have been the opposite. I kind of dragged on for a little bit,
Yeah.
because there was 2 songs that just shouldn't have been on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also like financial decisions as well.
Yeah.
You know, like we could have put a little bit more effort towards some of these songs if we wanted to from a finance and timing point, but the shit's expensive.
And time. Like
And
we wanted
yeah.
to get it out. We
Yeah.
could have,
Waited longer.
Yeah, we
or-
could have put it
I don't know.
another year
To be
back.
fair, like the songs weren't as good, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it was
if
realistic.
we wanted to make a longer album, we
We
could
could
have.
have.
We could have, but it would
Yeah.
have pushed the album back.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do that.
And we're already like
2 years
Lee
deep.
was already pretty like hard on the fact that we haven't released for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was getting real.
Pretty-
his neck is in a twist.
Pretty hard is
I mean, he's not wrong.
Which I
Yeah, that is nice.
I definitely understand his point for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, but it was a journey, and I just want to say,
Yeah, cheers, boys.
cheers. Good
Cheers,
shit.
lads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only one not drinking a beer, I feel bad now.
No, you can have a beer if you want. There's
I want to get red face.
yeah,
The whole conversation we had a minute ago.
yeah, fair enough.
But then I realised there was enough time for me to probably sink a beer first so the red face would go, but oh well.
Yeah. Oh, well. Now we're here, and you're just going to be the
It is what it is.
responsible one.
Yeah. I'm a sober driver, we're all good.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, again, off that original EP that we scrapped, it was only after that 3 dot and stuff started to become even a discussion.
Yeah.
Like that, all of that whole EP would have been before that, and then it may not have.
I think it would have been a detriment. I don't
Yeah.
think we would have got signed. I think that EP was good enough.
it was Copacetic that got them interested.
Yeah.
Copacetic alone,
Yeah.
and then El Manor was the one that sealed the deal.
Yeah.
But I think if we'd have put out that EP as it was, I think they would have been like,
Oh, yeah.
this is not
Not
what we
quite
thought.
us.
This isn't what we thought
Yeah.
we were getting. Like,
Yeah.
and then I don't think it would have gone ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because tell us about like how the 3 dot thing came about. You know, who's got the best memory in regards to that?
I just remember it coming through Lucas. Like, I don't actually really remember there being like
It
a.
was out of the blue. We weren't seeking
weren't
it
looking.
in any way
Yeah.
or form.
Yeah, I know there was mention of like I'm looking at shopping you guys around just to see what's out there.
Yeah, so Lucas did shop, but then I don't think like we weren't really expecting anything. We were just kind of like, we want to write some music, put some music out. The same thing we've been doing for forever, and then it just popped up one day. Lucas was just like, "Yeah, I spoke to 3 dot. They're interested," and we were just like,
Say
"Fuck,
what?
Yeah, the what?"
What does that mean?
Yeah. And then Jake pooped himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Still to this day, proving myself a little bit.
Move from 8 hours playing a day to 12, so he could get as good as Misha.
Yeah. Because your regiment for practice is pretty strict, eh?
Yeah, I just try to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
It's noticeable for me when I don't practice every day. So
Yeah.
and then it feels like I'm just practicing to gain what I lost rather than just like constantly chipping away.
Yeah.
So if I take 3 days off, then I've got to practice for 3 days to get to where I was.
Yeah.
And then that's a week wasted.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah, because it ends up, taking that time off, puts everything back. You've got to ramp back up into it, and then you're kind of away
And it's just the
again.
consistency. Like an hour every, like 7 days a week is better than 7 hours 1 day a week. Like
100%.
the improvements.
Yeah.
Just noticeable. Yeah.
Yeah, even just from like on a scientific perspective through studying for exams and stuff like that. Like cramming for an exam is way worse than spreading it out over shorter amounts. Still getting the same amount of study, but over shorter amounts of time.
Yeah.
Is way better for it.
Makes sense.
I can definitely, when I really see it, is when we're learning a new song. You kind of play like a riff.
Yeah.
And it's better to, instead of trying to learn the whole song, you play one riff a couple of times, and then you kind of like go to sleep and you let that settle in your brain overnight, and the next day you can play that riff way better. Because I don't know, it's just the way it works for me.
Yeah,
anyway.
you had a tipping point in your learning process where it's just like you're going backwards.
You got to know where you're like training the wrong muscle memory.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, okay, I've got to back off from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of sticks in your brain a little bit better, and
Yeah.
then you can move on to the next part and you're away.
Yeah.
As opposed to, learning the whole song will never work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think that works for everything though, because even
Whatever
like
works
when
best for you.
everyone just like writing a song like straight away, or like you're like write a couple of things and then you can like revisit in the morning, and be like, oh, that was shit, or you can literally just be like, okay, that was sick, I'll expand on that.
Yeah.
Or like if you just get like, the worst thing to do is run through a song and just write, and then get to the end and be like, okay, song done, like just for the sake of like smashing something out.
Yeah.
I'll literally, if I'm not feeling it, I'm out, like straight away. I'll do an hour. I'll force myself to do an hour, even if I'm not in the mood. And if I can't get into that mode of being like, I'm fucking feeling this, then I'm out.
If the ball doesn't start rolling, then you just pull the pin.
Pull the plug.
You do get those magical moments where it just happens though. It's with songwriting. It's very uncommon, but sometimes it just goes and goes and goes. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
That
like
was
you're
between
saying-
you and I, right?
Yeah.
That was between you and I. That just flowed. That song came together within what, a week?
it was like 3 days or something.
Yeah, it was so fast.
It was pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
I'd been working on that idea in the background for like a year.
Yeah.
But like, that was just the opening riff. It
Yeah.
was always like floating around, and then
Because what was that song originally written to be?
it was for my wife for her birthday. Yeah. She'd been wanting a
You
song
little
for a long
bloody
time.
cutie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually going to be a Crooked song.
Yeah.
But then, as we said, we canned another song.
And we needed one more.
And we needed one more, like, was it 2 months before we went to the studio?
yeah, it was close.
It wasn't that long.
We canned the
No, I
other
don't think it
sad
was
song.
2 months. I think it was
It was
longer.
not 2 months.
It was really close.
It was,
Maybe
I
6
mean, shorter,
weeks.
yeah. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Save the day.
Yeah. And then I remember after, it was just like, do that more. Because that song came together so nice and so well, it just kind of worked. But it might have just been like a stars aligned kind of moment. Obviously, you can't necessarily
different because
reproduce a bunch.
Obviously, we've been writing for like the album for about 2 years by that point.
Yeah.
So it was like the pressure and like it becomes work after like 6 songs, you know?
Yeah,
The
for sure.
ideas, like, it's hard to stay fresh. So I was like, okay, I'm not writing this for Crooked. Like, album's done, just write a song for this.
Yeah, and you were
that's
just
why
kind of writing for you.
It came out so easy.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, I was like, I'm never going to have to play this live. So I just,
So you wrote the hardest fucking thing you possibly could.
Yeah. Because how do you, as far as like tracking, recording the songs, what's your process?
like note by note is how I write pretty much. Like just I'll be like do and then I'll be like do and then I don't know, just like I never sit down and write a riff like a 15-second riff. I'll just write like sections and then just like go to town with it on the computer and just chop and move.
Yeah.
Because I get phrases, but like obviously with the computer it's so easy to write a phrase and then just move it 1/16 note across and it just changes the
Rather
whole
than
thing.
replaying it, that slight difference, which would be fucking a headache
And it's
to
like
try and do.
it's like cheating in a way, but in another way it's not, because I'm still getting the idea out of my head. And there's a certain place in my head where it's the most satisfactory, and that's where I'll put it. And it's usually not where I first come up with it.
Yeah. I wouldn't see that as cheating at all. It's just it's like a modern way of writing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
and it gives you a bit more freedom to play with a whole lot of different ideas a lot easier than having to figure out like a riff or something that you're maybe not 100% sold on, but it's like a bit too difficult to really change up to that degree. So you're like, but doing it your way, you can go, oh, let me just shift this. Oh, that works mean. And then after it's all pieced together, you go through and learn it.
Yeah. I'm still like aware, like I'm mindful of like how I'm getting from one part to the next.
Yeah,
so I know
like,
I can't
I've got to play this.
jump like 10 frets at a time, obviously.
Yeah.
So I know like the rough range,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just,
Yeah.
still have to be mindful.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Then,
yeah, still fuck myself a lot though.
Yeah. When you come into being like, okay, now I've got to figure out how to actually perform this or play this or record this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, because basically every song you're kind of trying to level up a little bit in some kind of way, right?
Yeah, not intentionally, but I just like, I guess I know my like limitations and I just write constantly on the brink of my limitations.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing we do, though. I like the fact that we write stuff that we probably can't actually even play yet.
Yeah.
Or we actually don't. I can't do vocally, or Christian can't do vocally. Like everything we did on this album, none of us could do live.
Yeah.
And then we realized that we had to go and learn it and do it live, and now we can all do it live.
Yeah.
There's still an awareness though. You've got to be aware of what like I will be capable of. You can't just write something that, because obviously you can just fast forward stuff and write like mad stuff.
Which is obviously like a hotly contested thing online through various guitarists and things like that, if they speed up their stuff or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we can honestly say, Jake, you do not.
Yeah. I don't know.
And Connor.
Oh no, I'll be real, not me. No, I've done a couple of half speeds.
Oh, that's
I'll
on
be
the
real.
tracking side.
Speeding up.
I'm talking like
live
on
wise,
live.
of course, live wise.
Yeah,
It's all done.
Yeah.
It's just that I know, like we're so full on when a song's written. Like I'm given this little space of time. This little space of time to learn a song, and it's usually like it's not long enough to get completely up to scratch before recording. So I'm stuck like in this position where I'm like, okay, well, to get it really clear, let's half speed that, and then I'll like kind of learn it later on.
Yeah.
And I do, and it's all fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we're just pushing so hard all the time.
And it's treating the recording process and the studio process as a separate being to the live
It's a totally
kind
different
of
being.
process, you know,
Definitely.
and understanding that they're two different things for two different results. Then just you can categorize them, and you're not trying to just fucking do everything all at once.
Yeah.
And that getting the accuracy for the technicality of the music that's being played.
Yeah.
Playing it at half speed, then re-speeding it to match.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. They're
For that
technical
result.
riffs. They are technical riffs. They take 2-3 months to learn. Really,
Yeah.
like they take ages to learn.
Yeah.
There's no
Other way around.
cheat sheet around it. Like it's just the
Yeah.
way it is. If you want it crystal clear, it takes a while.
Yeah.
It's just the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
With the pace that music moves nowadays, being
Yeah.
in a technical band is so much harder.
Yeah.
it's so hard, and you got to get that shit recorded
Like,
right away.
Even
and
comments
out.
I've seen now where people are literally just like, "Oh, I fucking love the album. Can't wait to hear your next shit."
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we've already got to go
I've
back.
been
and
guilty of that
immediately
as
we've gone
well.
back into writing because of it. Yeah, but everyone is. Like,
Yeah.
It's no one's fault. It's just the way music moves. Like, you can't change it. You're not going to change it. So either keep up or you're just going to get, like, left behind.
Exactly.
And it's rough. So, like,
Yeah.
that window is so shit for, like, people having to learn things that are, like, just crazy technical. Like,
Yeah.
Con and Kane and things like that.
Stay to design Rome's creative vibe. Where to draw the line? 'Cause consciousness can try with my own eyes. Despite the saving grace, I need to break this ceiling. I need to break.
Christian.
Where do we draw the line? 'Cause consciousness can shine to your eyes. If darkness sees again, when empathy's not there, can you make the change? 'Cause I have lost my way. So tell me stay. It's all I am. And near your embrace, I need to pay.
I mean, there's one Crooked song seems to have more notes than an entire rock album.
That's his fault though. He does that to himself.
wrong.
Anyway.
Yeah, we should go through for one of the more sort of technical songs. Go through and maybe count each note and just and we'll just see what we're working with.
Definitely.
Yeah. that in itself would take a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
To be fair, one solo of Jake's probably counts for that
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
One Jake solo would count for an entire rock album.
But also a lot of the time, Jake's solos aren't necessarily Speed Demon solos. There's the
It's not like Speed
technicality
Demons.
there's a technicality of say the rhythms and some of the other riffs, and then when it comes to the solos, it's there's a lot more, or there's more kind of feel that comes in at the solo kind of moment, sort of elongating notes a bit more. It's not just about, and not saying that you play just for the next note, but you let that. I feel like you let your solos kind of emote a little bit more from yourself, and then the rest of it lets everybody else kind of emote. Is the vibe that I kind of get through it.
Yeah. I don't actually like playing solos. I like recording them and writing them. But yeah, to be honest, they suck. I'd way rather play a technical rhythm bit that's groovy and especially live, when you're full in the moment with the band and everything's just tight. But
when you hit that groove kind of feel,
yeah.
you see that translate live.
It's a shift. I used to be all solos, but I don't get the same satisfaction anymore.
Yeah.
But then I know a solo adds to the song and there's places where it needs to be, so I do it.
Yeah, because what's the solo you've got tattooed on?
It's a Caesar Day of Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Or Sinister Gates, obviously just the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because would that be...
I suppose that would be a big influence for my taste of slow solos.
Yeah, 100%.
Speed's not everything.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, I enjoy playing the slow, melodic sort of stuff more. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing I think I find super interesting about your writing. You're one of the happiest dudes I know. You're your instrumentals have a lot of feel to them. And a lot of it comes out quite sad as well, which I always find super strange. There's a ton to it. It's cool.
He's got layers, bro.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah, we got
onion
deep enough.
among
Yeah,
us.
he's got his onion.
Yeah. Thank you, Shrek.
Yeah, thank you, Shrek. Ogres have layers.
Yeah. Because with
Terrible accent.
from a lyrical perspective on the album, so called Life Daydream, if we just give a little rundown of sort of the vibe or the idea behind the title and its own kind of...
Well, Christian came up with the title because it's mostly based around pretty much your whole 20s. Everything you do in your 20s from it's a weird time. You don't even realize it at the time. It goes from being wild to you trying to figure out your life and then being okay, I've got to get serious. Now I have to own a house, have a kid, or what everyone decides to do. But everyone at some point has that bit where they go from being an absolute fuckwit to being an adult pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's just all of that in between of and everything you just experience from there to the other side.
Yeah, because obviously it's a play on midlife crisis.
Yes.
It's that sort of mirrored window.
Yeah.
Of sort of you go through this weird haze of just whatever the fuck's going on, figuring your shit out.
Yeah.
Then kind of figuring your shit out. Then realizing you don't have your shit figured
You've
out.
got nothing.
Let's go. Yeah, 100%.
And that's where we are now.
Yeah. Oh,
We thought we had it figured out and we ain't got nothing.
Yeah. But that's part of maturing, is realizing that we don't know.
Yeah.
When you come to terms with not knowing, then you're a lot more
Yeah, that's
comfortable.
the thing. It's just being okay with it.
Yeah.
Being okay with realizing you don't know shit.
Yeah. And that crosses over to so many different life
Yeah.
aspects as well. All the sort of figure it out as you go kind of situation. Like,
Yeah.
there's no rule book.
Yeah, 100%.
You're chucked in the deep end, and it's up to you to sink or swim,
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, you know all about being chucked in the deep end, Mr. Father.
My life is the deep end.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Because how does Archie vibe with the songs?
Archie loves it. He jumps around the room. He headbangs. My son Archie is 4 years old, just
Yeah.
by the way. The first song he showed me was Gasoline by
I Prevail.
I Prevail. Thank you. I love I Prevail, and I just went mind blank.
Oh, their album just come out as well.
Yeah,
Then
so
you-
good.
yeah.
They dropped a new
So
album?
good.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
Have you not?
No, I haven't
It
heard
went a
it.
little bit
I heard
under the radar on
singles.
the release.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole album's great.
But he picked that song to show you.
Check it out.
He picked Gasoline to show
Bro,
me.
you are raising a good kid.
He's
Yeah.
a good kid. He used to like jump around and mosh inside the womb.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I remember seeing some clips a few years ago of him like headbanging and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so he would have been 2
Yeah.
at the time. Or
He loves it. He honestly can't get enough of it. It's great.
Yeah.
So good. He sees our videos of us playing live and he gives me big cuddles. He's like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my daddy.
That's so
Yeah.
cute.
And it's amazing. Like, nothing makes me happier.
Yeah.
For real.
Are you
It's so
getting
good.
ready for that all ages show you can take him to?
Yeah, sure. Got another job to do, bro. One job at a time. Is that okay?
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's from, like, say I was talking to the Pull Down the Sun guys, and they played Palmy and they played an all ages show because that was a requirement for the funding avenue that they got for the
To
tour.
Play X amount of places.
Yep, and also one of them has to be all ages.
Oh.
I think that's what it was through their NZ On Air funding or whatever it was. But they said like having their kids be able to see them play live
Yeah.
because they like obviously see them leave to go and practice or they see them leave to go and play all these shows and stuff like that without necessarily a full concept of what that is.
You're just leaving.
Yeah.
Not actually.
Yeah, they might see videos and things like, but they're not in that environment to know the energy and the feel and that sort of thing. But yeah, then them getting to see them actually on stage and performing. They said that was
That
like
is
a
cool.
really awesome kind of moment.
That would be an awesome moment.
Yeah, so you've
For
got
real.
that to look forward to at some
Definitely.
point.
Yeah.
It is also a strange environment to put your kid in sometimes. Though.
But that's why I
the
said
other
it's an
thing.
all
Four-year-old
ages
now.
show.
Yeah, it has to
all
be,
ages
it has
show.
to, yeah. Otherwise, sometimes it could be a bit of a different
I
environment.
don't know.
Sometimes.
All ages includes 4-year-olds, but I don't know if I'm going to chuck my 4-year-old.
No,
into
I'm
that
not
mosh
saying.
pit,
I'm
eh?
not saying. I'm not saying
I
next
might
week.
chuck him up on stage.
Taylor and son.
Yeah, get in there. Has he
Sink or swim,
shown
deep
any-
end, right? That's the way.
Has he shown any interest towards music as far as like playing anything?
I'll be honest. Nah, not really just yet. He's actually very mechanical minded, which I'm not. We'll see though. Like
Yeah.
he does like music as much as
Yeah.
he hasn't shown any kind of interest in instrument in
it.
particular.
Yeah.
It's he does love music, so we'll see.
Never know.
I'll
Might-
encourage it as much as I can. Of
Might
course.
end up like me. Mine didn't form till I was real late. Like I didn't do shit.
Yeah, because what was your starting story? As far as getting into wanting to be in a band?
Do you want the real story?
Yes. Yes.
Legit just me at a festival screaming along to music and being real drunk, and then some dude walking past me and going, "You're really good at that." And I was like, "Thank you, mate." And he's like, "You should be in a band." And I was like, "All right, why not?" Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I'll try it out." Like,
And
sure.
you're like, Jake.
Yeah, I found Jake playing a little clip online of him just like doing kick-ups. I think you were doing kick-ups in the video. You're doing like
jumping on skateboards. And
jumping on skateboards, doing kick-ups. He's doing like a solo and something. And then it was,
Oh my god! I can't
even-
believe I haven't seen this.
I think you
don't want
deleted it.
to.
It's good. But it's,
I want to see the cringe.
it is the proof that you can go from nothing to something.
I can't remember what was the site. Is it NZ Bands? Is it nzbands.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just moving over here from England, so then I was like, well, fuck it. Like, if I'm gonna try it, like this is now or never. And then just,
Oh, so you actually like hooked up, like online prior to moving to New Zealand?
yeah, I did. 'Cause,
Oh, yo.
Yeah, me and
Yeah,
Jake had a very weird interaction for the first time because I'd only really just started talking to him.
Yeah.
And
Send me a few kisses.
yeah, I was, you know when you like talking to your missus and you like kiss, 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 kiss at the end? I've been talking to Jake for like a day and I'm like, kiss, 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 kiss.
Yeah.
And he's just like, who's this fucking weird guy?
Yeah. Gotta love those like oops wrong person kind of moments.
Yeah.
Then I was like, was it intentional?
Yeah. I don't know this guy.
We should meet up.
Yeah. And then he leads in just with lips when he first sees you.
I mean, we are cuddlers, right? Like,
Yeah.
we are lovey-dovey.
Oh, we're definitely a huggy.
We're a
band.
very huggy band.
we
yeah.
love each other very much.
We hug after practice, we hug after show. Actually,
No.
we hug a lot.
Yeah.
We hug all the time. We are
When
a
you
unit.
arrive, hug.
Hug, yeah.
When you leave, hug.
Yeah.
we're like actually saying see ya, hug.
Okay.
Come in for some crooked cuddles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's our next thing.
Crooked cuddles.
Yeah, open up a
Gonna
little
start
hotel.
selling
Crooked
them.
cuddles. Yeah.
Come in from the street, pay $5.
It's a thing
get
in
a crooked
Japan.
cuddle.
They have cuddle hotels where you go,
Yeah.
you can just get a cuddle and just have
Oh,
a nap.
is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, we should
How
definitely
much?
do that. We're so good at that.
How much was it, Lee?
I love
How
it.
much was it?
I've never been. I
Oh,
probably
yeah.
would go. I want to go to Japan so bad. So if I go, I'll go to a cuddle hotel.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Is this an all or none kind of situation?
I mean, we
Or
can
not.
train it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in a bed just fucking.
I mean, fuck, we could cuddle each other, but we won't. We're going to go to a cuddle station and have a cuddle with someone else. 'cause
station.
We're sick of cuddling each other because we cuddle each other so much all the time.
I'm telling you, cricket cuddles will go off.
Because give us a run of the timeline, you know, as far as not necessarily dates or anything like that, but sort of like, so you guys started things out.
Yeah, so 2016, I think I contacted you, like end of 2016, and I moved here beginning of 2017. And then arrived, and we just thought it was like cracking on with it. And then I think when did we have like the first EP done? End
Oh,
of 2018.
The unknown.
Oh no, I skipped past that. I was going straight to the actual EP.
Oh, right.
But that would have been 2017 because we went to the US in 2018 early.
Yeah, we
Early,
pretty
okay.
much fucked around for a year or two.
For a year or two, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big period of time where Crooked wasn't really a band, but we had the name, but we weren't doing anything.
We only really took it seriously when
We hooked up with Lucas.
Kane and Christian joined.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was all the same time anyway.
But that was like
We had
3
Luke.
before.
We were already going to do something with Lucas by the
and
time
we
they
already had
joined.
Christian at that point. But
No,
didn't-
we
didn't-
got Christian because we were doing
Oh,
it.
that's right.
Because our singer had left, with the drummer and guitarist had gone, and then we were literally just like, well, we've got to, like, we have this song that we think is really good. Lucas has heard it. He wanted us to come over and record it with them in Iowa, and then we were literally just like, well, we don't have a singer. Like, so I actually had to go, and I remember hitting up Christian. I didn't know him that well. I'd been out drinking with him like a couple of times. We played like a couple of shows with Kindred Vice, and then obviously so Kane and Christian were in a band called Kindred Vice, which was a pop punk band. We'd done like Battle of the Bands. We all lost, and then
There's dispute as to who placed higher than the other.
to this day we don't know who came third and fourth, because I
Yeah.
don't think no one came second.
that was
either.
us.
We didn't even come second.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. So we think we're third. They think they're third. So fuck them.
Right.
Yeah. They weren't. Just saying.
Yeah, so I had to go out for like a drink with Christian, and he was like, yeah, well, Kindred is pretty much coming to an end, so like me and Kane would be happy to join. And then just sort of started rolling from there. And then we sat down with Christian, wrote a bunch, and then that was when we really took Lucas's offer like really seriously, because it was like the offer was there, but we didn't know whether we were going to take it, because it seemed like we didn't know what was going to happen. But we smashed 5 songs, and we were happy with them. We were like, well, yeah, fuck it, let's take the plunge.
Yeah, and that was a big leap to take, and that's something that I feel like you've been really like good at, as far as like getting Crooked to where it is now, is you've been spearheading a lot of those big leaps.
Yeah.
Lee's like 10 steps ahead of all of us.
Yeah,
At all times.
yeah, and
Other than
sometimes
musically.
Lee's already
sometimes
got
we
us.
don't understand that,
Yeah.
but we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's just yeah.
There's something about you, Lee, that just the networking is just on another level.
I like people.
Yeah,
I like talking to people.
yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Which is evident at shows as well.
Yeah.
You know, like we can never find you.
Yeah. That is true. I'm supposed to go to the merch stand and do stuff, but I am actually normally just talking to someone else about like something band related. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is important as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you're the one that, if people are messaging somebody on the socials,
It's me.
it's going to be Lee.
Yeah, you're talking.
Maybe one of us might give you a scene.
Yeah.
And if you get a scene, it's probably one of us. But actually replying will be Lee.
And then know for sure I went and had a go at someone for leaving it on scene and be like, mate, if you fucking open up a message, reply to it.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Days are young and forever a fancy. Played it cool, but never alone. No, no, then we changed it all. moment ourselves, soaked in the waves, and never a moment in the end. We drank through the nights, which now never happened. So now that it's then, I can turn myself to you and say, I love you enough to throw it away.
Because what sort of, I don't know, for you, what made you kind of want to take those kinds of leaps, you know, those leaps of faith with this kind of stuff that's expensive and, like you said, for you, completely new?
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I don't know how to answer that question.
The leaps of faith were more like, if we don't do this, then that's gonna suck more than doing it.
Yeah, then like nothing's gonna happen. Like I always just see the point as like, you're better to do it than to not do it. And if it fails, then it fails, because if not, you're just stuck where you are anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and there's nothing worse than being stagnant and just like not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the same thing as like playing the same place over and over again and expecting like hundreds and hundreds of people to come. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, the more you play in the same venue in the same town over and over again, like, 100 people.
It's a diminishing return. Eh?
Yeah, like more and more, just like eventually it's just going to stagnate and no one's going to care.
Yeah.
So like, you just gotta just go for everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna hurt.
It's sort of our
Like,
way. Like, like if you think about America logistically, we spent collectively probably 30 grand
Yep.
for 5 strangers pretty much
Yeah.
to go to the other side of the world to record an EP.
But
Yeah.
Like,
Lucas was literally at that point. I think we were listening to that Veil album so much that we literally just
It
like
just dropped like a month
Yeah.
beforehand.
What album
Yeah.
was that one?
Matriarch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
which
was
was
great.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
like that, the EP probably cost like double the cost of doing the album.
100%. But we were so like enamored with like how good Lucas was that we were like, this is so stupid
Yeah.
that if we don't take this risk and like go over and work with someone who could actually make us better musicians,
Yeah.
then that just seems like that just seems crazy to me. Like, well, what's the other alternative?
Yeah.
Like,
Because I mean, that's what I heard when you first contacted me about doing the video for Ashes.
yeah,
Because that's when we first started to chat and whatever.
yeah,
I heard the quality of the songs that were coming out compared to other New Zealand bands at the time,
Yeah.
but also the commitment that it took to go and do that.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, this band, obviously, like I'd spoken to other people and there was a reputation. But looking past that, seeing, okay, this band's actually like willing to invest,
Yeah.
you know, and that wasn't me just going, you know, that was just kind of like a, like,
Nice.
they,
yeah. Have a day off, mate.
they like, they give a shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I like the music.
I mean, I really do give a fuck. Like, I
Yeah.
genuinely care. Like, I want this to be my job so bad. Like, it's crazy. Like, I love doing this. I forget how much I like doing it. Second we go to a show, we're doing a show,
Yeah.
and I'm just like in this environment, and there's nothing else I want to do. So, yeah, that makes taking like leaps like that just so much easier.
Yeah.
The hardest part is convincing you lot.
Yeah, yeah, because it's
step.
a big financial leap.
Yeah,
and when you've got a kid or you've got a house,
Yeah.
or things like that, there's these external factors that being based in New Zealand are big considerations.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm just very aware of what it takes to make this a job, and like how many extra leaps you've got to go. Like even where we're at now, it's not even close.
No.
Like there's so many levels to where you got to get to before this even becomes like lucrative or becomes a job, or you can even
Yeah.
do it part time, let alone full time. Like
Yeah.
it's so like
the next step is just not investing from ourselves.
yep, 100%.
That's the next step. So
Yep.
it's still, even though yes, we're signed with 3 Dot, where we've got an album out, we've got 2 EPs out, we're still not earning.
Yeah.
But
You
we
know,
are-
and so that's understanding that, like, for people out there, it's to make this a real thing. It takes a lot. It takes a long time.
So much.
and it takes a lot. Yeah,
We're just like self-sustaining
Just now.
for doing
Yeah.
like New Zealand shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
for,
just now.
for like 4 or 5 years of grinding.
yeah.
And now we can do shows and not have to pay a cent. We don't make
Yeah.
anything, but
we don't have to
we
pay.
cover our costs.
And now the realistic
Yeah.
part is that we'd probably get to be able to play like Australia and be able to cover our costs like just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like to then even go
One new breeze
anywhere.
order, it's all gone.
Yeah.
yeah, it's done.
Pretty much, yeah. And then like to even go anywhere further, like if we ended up going to the US or the UK, 100% we're on a deficit.
Yeah.
Immediately we're on a deficit.
And that's where you jump in, and you've got to go for even if it's 2 tours back to back.
Yeah.
So it covers the flights to get there,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the whole point of just taking a leap. Like
Yep.
we're not going to play to any of these people if we don't go there.
Yep.
These
Yes.
people aren't going to like us. Well, they might find us online and they might end up liking us, cool. But like, there's nothing like going to see a live band and being like, okay, these are cool. Like I like these dudes.
Plus, like, we want to see you. We want to see the crowd face to face, right? We want to like
Yeah, hell
relate
yeah.
to them. We want to actually. Sorry,
Yeah.
again. Sorry, I'm one of these guys. We want the crowd in front of us. We want to be able to play to whoever as a person,
Yeah.
and connect, because it's so much better
Our music's-
than
our music's-
hearing it on Spotify.
Pretty emotional. Like,
Yeah,
so
very emotional.
That connection is massive for us. Like if
It's
the
huge.
crowd isn't going, like then it's everything.
Yeah, we want to lift everybody up. We want to give them a great night. We want to give them a good time.
Yeah.
We want to fill their life up somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same argument for playing not just the main centres of New Zealand, because if you don't, oftentimes, you know, you play Napier, you play Wanganui, you play wherever, but so that they do get exposure to who we are. It might not be playing them every time we do a tour,
Yeah.
but still have them included at various times, because otherwise they just don't get exposure to.
They just feel left out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that even though, okay, it might not be as many people, but the people that are there fucking love it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, even if the crowd isn't massive, like as long as that vibe's in the room,
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
And that's something that's important to keep.
Yeah.
That it's not just about the amount of people there; it's about the people that are there.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can get kind of like disheartened if a show is at like 50 or 60 people, but or even less at various times. But valuing those people that are there is important.
Yeah, 100%.
They've spent their money to get there.
I would argue that when you've got a lesser crowd, that the people that are there tend to go harder. They actually do.
Yeah.
And that you connect with them a whole lot more, even though it's a smaller crowd. Even if the floor is virtually empty, those few people that might be there are going off, and they kind of try to engage with you more, which is a really cool thing because that's going to last, right? That's
100%.
It's better to have something everlasting with one person than it is to have something that's one night out for 10 people, or plus, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because what was the show? There was a show that was like a relatively small crowd, but there was one guy at the front that was just like staring at you.
Oh, that's
That was Nathan. Yeah. And so those kinds of engagements wouldn't happen on like necessarily like a bigger show, but it's like something that stands out. Like you'll be able to pick that moment out as a memory a lot easier than picking out a memory from a sold out whammy show.
From like 200 faces.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I don't think, other than like maybe the first, like doing like even like the Silent Planet show, like right now, I could probably picture like the first 5 people. Everyone else is just like a blur.
It's just a mob.
Yeah, but then when you do play those smaller shows, you can see everyone, and then you actually go and talk to everyone. Then like
it's kind of like seeing the people of a smaller show or seeing an entity of a bigger show.
Yeah.
The entity is the crowd. The smaller show is the people.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like there's some bands like, I think there's some like hardcore bands and things like that when they do play those larger stage, they fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And then they get into their floor level, super hot, messy, 100, 200 cap places.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
Yeah, that's the one. But when they come, that's I've heard that from a couple bands that when they come to play New Zealand, whereas they might play like 1,000 cap venue, 2,000 cap venue in Australia, which is on that cusp of, for them, like that sort of small to medium kind of size.
Yeah.
But then they come to New Zealand, our market's not the same.
Yeah.
They come and play to 200 people and they're like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah, they love it.
Like
Because
just
people
getting
go
that hot and
wild.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And to be fair, it shows a lot about a band. If you can turn up and there's 50 to 60 people there, and you're going as hard as you were, and you're playing like there's 200, 300 people there, then shows a lot more than the people who get disheartened.
That professionalism, eh?
Yeah. And stand there and be like, oh, okay, no one cares. Like, no, like you're not there for you. You should be there for the people who came out to see you. Yeah.
And that's sort of like, say, on the Banks tour, there were a couple of shows that were a bit lower numbers. And seeing Gloom, who wasn't their crowd, and they're from Aussies, first time coming here, still putting on a fucking immense show every single night.
You have 110% no matter what.
It was like a real sort of like respect for them as performers and as professionals.
Yeah.
They were insane.
they were insane.
So captivating.
Yeah.
They were like a lesson for us, weren't they? They weren't just, well, that's a great show. That was like, wow, that's what we need to be. It's a standard that we need to rise to, because they were freaking amazing.
Especially since we hadn't played for like 2 years, and then we were like, okay, we went into that like feeling a bit nervous, and it was going to be rough, and we were like, and then we saw how they were treating it, and it changed everything for us. I literally, like, the second we left that tour, we all came back here and was like, how do we make our live show good? How do we do this? How do we do that? How do we do that? And then we did the plot and you shows, and then I was like, okay, this is us now. Like, now I feel like we're a band. That tour was like a great like relearning,
refresher?
refresher for us to just get back.
Well, we'd
into
been
everything.
in studio mode for so long.
Yeah.
And that, like, you needed that trial by fire to get back into live mode, into performance mode.
Absolutely.
And then after playing Wellington and doing all those drives and understanding the cost of playing these shows, not just financially, but just from an energy point and that next week following it or whatever, you want to make sure that playing that show is worth it for your own vibe that you get out of it. You want to get out of that show feeling like, fuck, I gave it my all, and made the 9-hour drive worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Big drive.
Yeah.
And the test.
Yeah.
Done it a few times in the last few weeks.
Or playing
Big drive.
Yeah, Auckland to Wellington 3 times in like 8 weeks or something.
8 weeks, yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah, Auckland to Wellington.
And there's a lot of people out there that don't do that ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking like Whanganui.
That was the
Napier,
thing.
All those,
The amount of people that were so grateful that we came all the way down. That was the coolest part. Like
Yeah.
people just going nuts because they knew we'd never really come to Wellington. Like we've been to Wellington once
Yeah.
in like the 4 years we'd been in a band. So like
and then in 2 months.
Then in 2 months we came like 3 times, and then everyone who came to the first show was at the next one. Everyone
Yeah.
came to that next one was at the next one because
Yeah.
they were like, you've literally never come. So they all came out, and it was
Yeah.
the coolest thing.
Part of that was also the scale of the bands that we were playing with.
Of
as
course,
well.
yeah, obviously.
But like the fact that they came to those shows wearing a crooked shirt.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's more of the kind of the testament, or they come to and let us know that they came to the previous one.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's where it really differentiates.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously playing an opening set is a bit different to sort of like a headline set. And so the next kind of step with everything is to start to do
Do some headliners.
some headliners.
Yeah.
As far as like just show this album off.
Yeah.
Because what's the current vibe as far as doesn't necessarily need to be timing, even though dates and stuff would be awesome. But
Yeah, they would.
as from like a is it a let's celebrate Quarter Life Daydream,
Yeah.
or let's put on a crooked show, back catalogue considered?
Yeah.
Is it like a Quarter Life Daydream tour, or would it be like a crooked tour?
I think it'll be a Quarter Life Day.
We haven't really discussed
Yeah.
it
We haven't. Yeah, I don't think we've discussed that
because
yet.
it's all so fresh, and like we're waiting to see how the songs
Yeah.
are received as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
we don't know what songs are going
I
to be
don't-
popular. Some songs might be better live, and
Like we've been putting out
Yeah.
a couple of feelers of just like, what do you want to hear? Like we want to go play shows. What do you want to hear? Like our main aim is to we always play around New Zealand, but we're always going to want to play around New Zealand. So that's a given. Like
Yeah.
we now want to get over to Oz, and if anything else comes along overseas elsewhere, then like awesome, we'll obviously
Yeah.
jump on that too. But the whole thing was like, what do you want to hear? And the great thing that's come back is, which I think is awesome, is everyone's just like play the album front to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome for the album, but obviously we want to play a couple of old songs as well.
Yeah.
But like, I would probably rather go out and play this like full album.
Yeah.
But that's been the coolest thing. If people literally just like play the album front to back, like we don't
Yeah.
care. So probably leaning towards a Quarter Life Daydream tour. I don't know if it will be specifically around that, but you'll probably get more of the new album than you'll get of anything else. I
Yeah.
would say, but
Yeah.
we need to talk about that properly. That's just my
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah, because then, like you mentioned, the direction and the sights are set overseas,
100%.
because that's where this music is, as far as from a market perspective, is a lot bigger.
we just need to grow.
Yeah.
And you can't grow in the same place.
Yeah,
Like we'll keep playing New Zealand because we love it,
yeah,
but there's a limitation to how much you can do here.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
You can look at the big, huge bands coming from overseas that International Expo opening for. They're still only playing to like 200 or so people,
Yeah.
which is sick. We love playing dates.
Yeah.
And same for us. But like just elsewhere, there's a lot more opportunities.
Yeah. 100%.
And we won't say no to anything. If someone, I doubt we'll say no to anything. Whether
Overseas?
it's in Europe, America.
Overseas.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
overseas.
there's no
Overseas.
country we'll say no to. No, no, no.
Yeah,
So is this how you found me? Crossing steps since the overthrow, through the depths of isolation, but your affliction won't let go. I always trust in the ones that show how the world was past my control. Bittersweet, how far we
To be honest, we really say no to New Zealand bands that ask us to play. Like,
Historically, we used to just play everything, but now there's a bit more consideration with
there's always
to not
consideration.
oversaturate a market.
we definitely like love meeting bands and like getting on with bands.
Yeah.
We're friends with virtually every band that we've ever met.
Yeah.
So it's always fun. But yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Like, of course.
That's been the challenge though, is going from friendly band who wants to play with everyone to this is a business. Let's make this a business. We want to make this a job, make it a business, make it as well as
course.
being like a band, which has been pretty tough, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been hard.
Yeah.
Half of
Yeah.
our band practices turn into business meetings now.
Yeah, 100%. What do we do next? What are we going to do next?
Yeah.
Like, when are we actually going to play some music?
Yeah. And then it's 11 p.m. and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, Francis just wants to leave, and we're like, no, we're having a meeting about where we're going to do this and do that.
Logistics
blah,
of
blah, blah.
some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like-
security people on the phone, they're like, you guys are still there. Here we are.
But this is all the extra shit that
Get
I
off
think
my back.
when people like when people start a band, I think they don't think is going to happen. They think they just get to turn up and play music, and like for some people, yeah, if you get like really big
Yeah.
or you blow up, that does happen.
Not
You just
in our genre.
yeah, but not in our genre. Like no way. You're doing everything yourself until some other people come along and help. Which obviously we have Lucas and Keith, and then at New Industry, and then now we have 3 Dot helping us. But
The thing is, even with people helping out, like we can outsource a lot of stuff if we wanted to, but you got to pay them.
Yeah.
And we can't afford it. So it's like
Yeah.
so unless it's coming out of our own pockets,
you do it yourself. You do your own accounting. You do your own
Yeah.
show booking. You do your own networking. You do your own
everything.
everything.
Because otherwise, if you start to shop every component out, that puts off any ability to,
Well, that's
to self-sustain.
There's money to make new material, to
Yeah.
like do music videos, to like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything we make gets funneled straight back into this band.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it very adamant when we did like the vinyl, not adamant, like I was just, when we released the vinyls recently, I was like, everything, if any of you buy this vinyl, this is going straight back into the next project
Yeah.
we make.
Yeah.
We will see none of it. It will literally go straight back into that. And that's not so that you feel like bad or wanna buy it.
Obligated to or whatever.
Just
yeah.
know that that is where it's going, because that's where we want it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's made an actual cent
No.
this whole time.
No, yeah.
I think our
That's all
business
back in
is
the
running
bank.
at like a minus 40,000 deficit or something.
Oh,
That's
no.
not even a lie.
Dream big, kids.
Yeah.
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 God.
And that just puts it in
That's so
perspective.
sad.
That's just to put it in perspective for people. You know, it's not so much a oh shit kind of thing, but it just like it takes
Well, that's
investment.
what we're
It really-
willing to throw at it to
Yeah.
make it happen.
And that's and that's again coming back to sort of when we first started working. I could see that passion to push.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have thought it would get here, like because
I don't
like
think any of us did.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
We were a garage band. Like, I talk about this actually quite frequently.
In your house.
We
To
were
yourself.
sitting in my house playing on an
Playing-
electric kit.
Playing In Heart's Wake covers.
Yeah, covers. Doing nothing, just getting drunk and having a barbecue.
Yeah.
And now shit has grown to this. It's quite
It's-
quite surreal. It really is.
It's nuts.
yeah.
And people are vibing with it. It's great. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I
So
can't
really is.
pinch yourself kind of things.
Yeah.
I can't believe shows in New Zealand now. That's the wild thing to me.
Yeah. People singing back lyrics.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
crazy.
wild.
I've heard that a couple of times actually. People saying like, when you see people you don't necessarily know starting to sing your words back at you or sing a solo back at you or something like that, you know? Like, you know, when you see that.
I do that to him every
Oh, yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
I literally do that every practice.
But yeah, seeing those moments, that's one of those kind of milestone maybe not coming of age, but like milestone moments
Yeah.
from a band point. When you see other people that aren't necessarily your friends, like, or your close friends, you know,
Yeah.
vibing with it in that way.
100%.
Yeah.
Seeing like a crowd, like front row crowd full of people where I actually don't recognize anyone now, and then hearing them sing or like wanting to grab the mic to do like a screaming part or something,
You're
it's
just
just
like, what is this?
yes, it's wild to me. Which is crazy because I was the stupid little kid in the mirror, like pretending to do that like in a mirror when I was like 15 years
Yeah.
old. Like one day I'll get to do that, and then just
Yeah.
it's fucking nuts.
Well, it's like all those videos of people doing like Asking Alexandria covers in their bedroom.
I was definitely
and
that
stuff
kid.
like that.
I was
yeah.
100% that kid. God damn it! I had the long hair and everything.
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
It's so cool,
bring
though,
it
right?
back.
Like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's actually so
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Like the fact that we get to even do a fraction of this.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd might not be 10,000 people, it might be 200 people, but this doesn't make any difference. It's so cool that we get to do this.
I think that's like the fuel for everything. There's
Yeah.
like more motivation than anything.
It is.
We're not like doing it to be famous or rich because neither of those things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just so much fun. And like, yeah, when you are playing to 200 people and they're just all going ham, it's just
Yeah.
like such an unreal feeling.
Yeah.
It's like a
Absolutely.
drug pretty much. And you finish the gig and you're buzzing for like 12 hours afterwards because
Yeah.
that was so sick.
That's just your head vibrating, mate.
Yeah.
Jake and I have had many conversations after shows where we go back and we're like, man, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was insane. We've just had the best show ever, and it's so
And then you think, how can I top that? And then the next night you top it.
Yeah.
and it's so
crazy.
good, right? Like, it's how good is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's treating every show as its own thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, oh, here's another show. Oh, here's another show. Every show is just kind of like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
I don't know if we'd ever get to that. We love playing live. Like,
Yeah.
That's
I
what
think
we do it for.
even more than just
The whole
loving
point.
it, grateful. Because I
Grateful.
remember playing shows to no one. Like, I remember doing
Yeah.
shows to 10
Yeah.
people and being like, this blows. And the 10 people didn't know us, like, at all.
Yeah.
And they were literally just like, who the
It
fuck
was
are these
the other
guys?
bands.
Yeah, it was the other band.
It was the other
And
bands in
getting
the crowd.
potentially third at a Battle of the Bands.
Yeah,
Hey, that was a big moment.
So
we
true.
fucking got third until Nah, did we fuck? They were way better than us. Bedroom Advice were definitely better than us.
They were definitely better than us. We
definitely
definitely got third, though.
We'll get.
Definitely third.
I was going to give it to him right here.
Third equal.
Finally settle this debate.
Nah, we got third.
To be fair, they're not here. Fuck them. We got third.
fucking- outnumbered.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got third. Fuck.
no doubt.
Yeah. Because like you're saying, like, you got to keep the wheels moving. It's not just about resting on, cool, albums out, let's breathe. No.
No.
Nope.
It's like, it's almost the opposite of albums out.
Gas pedal.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I remember saying something like that's like, yes, writing the album, all of that was hectic and busy and stressful and everything like that, but that was the warm up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That was the, and now it's about,
I literally just last Sunday woke up to Jake messaging me, going, "Oh, by the way, the new songs is the tabs are all up on the Dropbox. You know, jump on. We got 6 weeks to learn this." I was like, "Fucking hell!" Like, I've just finished the album. Like, we've just released it.
Yeah.
And now it's new song. Here we go. Like, before Christmas, we're in the studio.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Like, just go for it.
It is just
Don't fuck around.
It's
Hey,
such an
welcome,
unfortunate.
mate.
It's such an unfortunate way that metalcore works because like
Yeah.
it's just such a
It's so hectic.
it's such a small genre and so like niche that people just want like it constantly. Actually, it's not even metalcore. It's just music in general. Like, people have got such short attention spans nowadays. But yeah, I am actually seeing that kind of start to flip, where people are wanting to like listen to albums and stuff again now because of like the short attention spans getting like there's almost an overload of stuff now. So people are
Yeah.
like, okay, people need to
Slow down a little
and
bit.
they
slow
find
down a bit.
they find the artist they actually really connect with
yeah.
and dive more into them as opposed to digesting so much of just say like the playlist kind of generation of just listen to what is added to this playlist
Yeah.
new every Friday there's fucking 30 new songs.
Yep. The other big thing is the rules are so different for a big band and a little band. A big band can spend 2 years making an album and put it out and then
But
sit
they
on
also
it for like
and
2
they
years.
because they can tour off that.
Yeah. Whereas like we're a small band. Like we're still trying to get our name out there, even though it's growing and it's great. It's nowhere near where it ever needs to be for us to actually be able to tour and do things like the way we would like to do it. So
We haven't left the country yet. So
Yeah.
how can you say that? We
exactly.
haven't gone anywhere near that.
We're probably just about to leave the country for the first time next year.
Yeah.
And that's still to a country that's literally the closest thing to us.
Yeah.
So like it's just a whole different it's just a whole different set of rules. So like if we're not constantly having our name in front of people at the stage we're at now, you'll just be forgotten about. And then you'll just which we found out the hard way.
Also, on top of that, like whether there was a massive demand for it or not, I think I'd still be writing the same because I fucking love
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
I love writing songs.
That's
like,
important to keep as
I
well.
love playing shows. Like we do it because it's fun, not because we have to.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've also just spent 2 years on this album, and we've learned a lot along the way. As like from the start of the album to the finished album, our like collaborative process just got
Oh, hell yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
We've ironed out all the kinks for sure.
And now that we're working on some other stuff, we can see it's just everything's a lot smoother and everyone's upskilled, and it's just
How much?
It's happening so much faster. Everything's happening so much faster.
yeah.
How much quicker are these new songs coming together than the album did? Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the fact of how fast this is happening compared to what Quarter Life Daydream was is nuts.
Yeah.
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 And then
It's
the
not like we're cheaping out. We're not like being lazy about it. It's just coming together. It's just literally.
I can personally already tell it's better.
Yeah.
Like, I love Quarter Life Daydream. I think it's great. I already know that these songs are better.
And
we're
that's
not even
that's
in, like-
it's quite a common theme amongst sort of like musicians and things, as far as like really vibing the next stuff. But that's because it's where you currently are.
Also, we've been
Whereas-
sitting on this album for a long time. Like
Yeah.
we recorded the video for Glass Hands like a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and we tracked Elemental like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So you guys are hearing it now, but we're like
It's an old song.
old news
for us.
4,000
Yeah.
listens deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
through that whole process.
Like we love it, but
We love it,
It's
yeah.
old.
Yeah.
For us, it's old.
Yeah.
It's just
for real.
logical to
Yeah.
move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep developing. You can't just sit and bask like that was awesome. Like I'm done. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not
Plus-
quite how it works.
no.
There's nothing more exciting than when Jake sends me a new file and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's a wave file. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Because do you feel like you were like, and for you Connor as well, because obviously Jake was in there trying to come up with ideas and stuff like that. But then when you do get that new song, like, do you feel like you're ready to step into?
Absolutely. So just the other day, Jake was actually saying to me that the song's not quite as easy as it sounds. And I was like, well, that's
Jake
okay.
in a
'cause-
nutshell.
Yeah, that is. Well, yeah. Well, no, because like what I said back to him was like, it's
You're
funny
just like,
how
good luck.
yeah, no, it literally used to be like I said to him, my attitude used to be like, nah, mate, that's impossible on bass. Like I'd try it
Yeah.
out, and I was like, there's just no way. Like it's too up and down. The frets are too big. The strings are too thick.
Yeah. This
just can't do
bass
that.
can't do this.
The bass can't do this.
Have you seen these forearms? Look what he's become.
Oh. I'm actually more proud of my little
Your thumb muscle.
Your thumb
bicep. Anyway,
There's not even a scientific name for that muscle yet.
I
He's
invented it.
developed a new the Connor muscle.
Connor's become so sexy that he's developed new muscles.
Thanks to Jake. So maybe it's our baby muscle. Jacona. That's the Jacona muscle.
Jacona.
Working title, don't commit to that one.
Yeah.
Working title.
Anyway,
Cake. I like cake.
he sent me this new song,
The cake
and I
muscle.
was like, nah. I'm no longer in that mindset of it's impossible. It's now like, okay, it's possible. It's going to take some time,
Yeah.
but it's possible, and yeah, we're on. Like the new song's sick. Stand by. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Jake and I are going to blow your minds.
Well, the whole band, really. But,
Well, of
you
course,
know,
the whole
yeah.
band.
Nah, just them two. We ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're an instrumental band now. This is what this is for.
we're just going to kick a Polyphia one day. One day.
Jesus, I don't
Bro,
think,
they
I
are-
think anyone could be
They
Polyphia.
are massive.
They're wild.
They are
Come on, they're nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
They're
well,
actually
you're
nuts. They're-
that fucking insane.
But
But the
Insane
fact that that
musicians.
music
Sick.
can be that popular,
Yeah.
you know, like,
It's when you're that good though. It's
Yeah.
just they took a while to get the full recognition, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, they've
That's
always
what it
been.
yeah.
They've just
And
been
that,
put in
like,
the spotlight, and everyone's like, these guys actually are the fucking
Yeah.
bee's knees.
It's
The
like,
standard.
holy
And now they've got like artists that are like top tier artists, like putting vocals over the top.
Yeah.
Of them. So you're getting the top tier
Yeah.
artist with a top tier.
Yeah,
like-
and that's just
yeah, which
elevating
is
even more.
crazy.
And like when they released a song with Steve Vai, I was like, for them, that's got to be like a holy shit kind of moment. Like,
Yeah.
from musicians kind of point, from virtuoso musicians to have, from my point of view, like the virtuoso guitarist. Like from that world of guitarists, he was the one that I gravitated towards the most, and I was just like, holy shit! Like for them, yeah, fuck, that's got to be immense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
immense.
Yeah.
Great word for it.
Yeah.
It would be huge. I was just seeing recently their post on Instagram. Like the guitarist has got this like sick little mouthpiece that he's holding onto on his face, and everyone else in the band looks amazing. And I'm so excited for this video because it's a whole new thing. Like it's not a style of video that I think we've seen before. Like the outfits definitely. You know, all I've seen is the outfits, right? All I've seen is the outfits, but the outfits are very new and fresh. So I'm very excited to see what the video is going to be because it's a whole new concept, I think.
Yeah,
Based on what I've
sick.
seen.
That's one of the hardest things to do is to keep coming up with something new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
Um,
fresh.
And that's one of the concepts one of the things that I've seen around the like Quarter Life Daydream and the songs there is that there's an element of, this hasn't quite, like people say, like they might reference certain bands, but every time somebody references a band, it's a different
band.
Yeah.
And so I definitely feel that the Crooked sound, like called Life Daydream, we definitely found Crooked sound.
Yeah.
I think everything prior was kind of like figuring it out.
Yeah.
Called Life Daydream definitely was a refining and defining
Just us using
kinda-
every single thing that we
kind
like.
of moment.
Yeah.
That's one
And
way to put it.
experimenting.
Like, there's one way to put it, but at the same time, I think it's actually Jake's pushed us to our limit, and that's kind of, it's not the limit, but it's like the.
I think
That's-
everyone's pushed.
Oh, just
themselves.
challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone has, but that's,
Yeah.
every song, you come with us with a new song, and it's gotten us to a point now where like, it's not about finding the sound; it's about finding where we can be.
Yep. The next
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
And so it's about the
Yeah.
fact that we
Because
get
if we could up it 2 times, you would. Like we would actually, that would be the next song, right?
Yeah.
Let's be fair. Like that's what it would be. That's the way it goes. So it's just literally this is the standard now that we've now set, and that is now the benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's a way to put it as well. Is like each time it's a new standard. It's
Yeah.
a new standard.
It's funny that you were saying about like people comparing us to other bands. I never understood the Dance Gavin Dance one. I love Dance Gavin Dance. Like being compared to them, sick. But I never understood it because we sound nothing like Dance Gavin Dance. And it wasn't until I was on Reddit recently where it was like that someone had posted like a Quarter Life Daydream Reddit, and they were going through the album, and someone was like, it's got nothing to do with the fact that they sound like Dance Gavin Dance. It's just their vibe that they will literally they'll do anything. And then they have the 2 like vocalists, but they're technical. They'll also like just throw in whatever like vibe they like. They're just weird and like very out there compared to like what is normal like metalcore.
Yeah.
That was my favorite comment
Yeah.
I've ever seen on like someone describing like our sound.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's pretty spot on, because we all listen to so many different genres that we're literally like, we're gonna do whatever we want, and it's just gonna be slapped on like technical guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's the thing. Just,
great.
And it is it's about just doing whatever comes out.
Yeah, it's dope having no limitations. Not that like we would anyway. Like I don't think we'll ever write because like a certain song went like super well. Like
Yeah.
if Counterfeit was like our number 1 by far, it's not like we're going to make a
Counterfeit too.
trap metal album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Copenhagen did so well, we didn't even try and follow it up with something
Yeah.
that was similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We just write what comes out and go with it.
It's
Yeah.
so fun to play though as well, eh? Like they are so fun to play in general. Like regardless of who you're playing to, whether you're playing to yourself at home, they're just fun.
So you don't get
songs.
bored playing the song.
You don't get bored.
Yeah.
Like you actually don't
Yeah.
get bored. Like it's. I don't know. I said to Jake the other day with a new song that it's nice to have a fresh song, but it's not like the old songs are boring.
Yeah.
Like you still are quite happy to play all of them because
Yeah.
they are interesting. They're
Yeah.
fun.
Fuck yeah.
Nothing's boring.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's the way, and that's an energy that you want to keep with it all as well. Because then it just starts to become mundane and just sort of rinse,
Yeah.
repeat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just start to pander to X, Y, or Z market, Whereas about keeping it true to yourselves just helps you stay fucking hyped on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
For me, it's not
Nice.
having filler sections. Like every part needs to have an impact.
Yeah.
You can't have a banging chorus and then just like waiting in the verses for
Yeah.
the chorus to come.
Yeah.
Like, you can have moments you like the most, but
Yeah.
every part needs to be like standalone.
Its own thing. And it's understanding the intent of each moment.
Yeah.
So the entire song doesn't need to be fucking buh. But it's understanding that for this to be here, this needs to be here. But this being here doesn't mean that it needs to feel like it's dragging.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be pointless.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
what can
it's
we
a
do
formula.
to that like dropout to make it interesting?
Yeah. And just maintaining that interest throughout.
Yeah.
Super.
Probably-
And that I feel like that's quite a hallmark of the songs, really.
Yeah.
It's probably the hardest part to do as well. The
Yeah.
big choruses and the super heavy breakdowns and like the doing like those, but they're the easy parts. All those little sections where we're trying to make like the part leading up to that interesting is the hardest bit.
Yeah.
100%.
Also make sure that there's space for the pinch harmonic.
Yeah. Every time I write something, and Jake's like, "Leave space, bro, for the little pew."
Yeah. I
No,
feel
I'm not
like I feel like we could act like, I mean, we do literally talk all day,
Yeah.
but I feel like we should be wrapping things up. So I just want to say again, like, huge congratulations to everybody for all of the effort that's been put in.
Including yourself.
Yeah, including yourself. We didn't even thank you yet, mate. Like you do so much for us. It's crazy. I don't think people realize that.
That people wouldn't, would they?
No, well, they wouldn't. Yeah,
Because
we've tried to get them in a video. One day we'll get them in a
we
video.
will one day.
I'll have one line in one song or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
or whatever. But it's also understanding it takes a lot of, like, many hands make light work.
Yeah.
it's not just about the people that you see in the promo photos or on stage or whatever. There's a lot that goes on behind. That's not to toot my own horn or anything, but just again that awareness thing. It takes investment from money, from time, and from people.
100%.
And fostering those relationships and everything like that, which is something that I've always just enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like meeting new people and doing new things, and
It's honestly the best part about this.
yeah,
Yeah, that is.
yeah. And it's stuff you wouldn't get exposed to if we didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But I got sidetracked. Yeah, congrats for everybody and all that. Thank you to everyone that's watched and stuck around for this long, if the cameras are still running. It was awesome having a chat. I had no idea how this would go because I know everything that goes into it. This was my first time interviewing from a fully knowledgeable perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it went well. So thank you guys for coming on. It was awesome to have a yarn. One day we'll sit down with everybody, and this will go for 4 hours.
I could easily go for 4 hours.
We should get real drunk when we do that one.
One day we should release our chat, our band chat.
Oh, fuck
That
no.
would be terrible.
I will come off so bad in that chat. No way.
What, especially if they're like choosing a single artwork or something. It's like 3 hours.
Oh
long.
my god, getting like opening Messenger and seeing like 200 messages. I'm just like, recap, please.
Yeah. Give us the gist of it, and it's done.
Yeah.
Stop fucking making me read.
But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Check out other episodes and things like that. I really love doing this. I know Jake, who's sitting behind one of the cameras here. There we go. There might be some fingers in there. It's a lot of work. We'd love if you guys could share it around, because we love doing it. We want more people to get behind it. And yeah, cheers.
Sweet. Love you, mate.
Sweet. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.